Hello, you beautiful people. So, I'm pretty sure we all saw Mydei's drip marketing that happened just a few hours ago, and now you want to know all the info that we have right now on his kit and how he'll function overall, right? Luckily for you though, you've landed on the perfect video to get all this juicy kit info related to Mydei. Today, I'm mainly going to discuss and compile all the info that we have on Mydei's kit as of now, and along with this, we'll also take a look at some speculations related to his playstyle, his best teammates, and his release date as well. Just as I did for Triby's drip marketing though, I want to ask you guys a question. How do you feel about Mydei's design? Personally, I think a lot of you might have already guessed it, but yes, I really like his design quite a lot, and that lion just makes it so much better. I mean, Mydei has quite a lot of similarities with Gilgamesh, and I don't know about you, but I think that's enough of a reason for me to start saving everything for this guy. Next up, I know that a lot of you guys are planning to pull for Fugue and Firefly in the second half of 2.7, and if you want some good discount on your Stellar Jade packs, let me just introduce LD Shop to you. This site is honestly a great top-up center, and the top-up process is really easy as well because all you need to do is select your pack and enter your UID and server in this box right here. Yep, that's the entire top-up process. After waiting for a few minutes in the game, I easily received my jades and also saved a little bit of money. By the way, if you register in LD Shop from my link in the description or the pinned comment, you will get an extra 5% off on top of all the other discounts. Lastly, just a quick little info that if you spend more than $80 in a single month on LD Shop, you can get a VIP membership for yourself, and you're probably curious what this membership does, right? Well, it basically provides you with a free monthly pass, weekly discount coupons, and some monthly discount coupons as well. Anyways, with the sponsored segment being done, let me mention the usual disclaimer that everything which I mentioned during this video is taken from different sources, and it might be changed at any point of time, so take all this info with a grain of salt. With that being said, let's begin without wasting any more of your time or energy. Alright, starting with the very basics, Mydei is going to be an imaginary type unit who follows the path of destruction, and I think it's pretty obvious that he'll play the role of a main DPS on your team, considering his design and his path. At least for now, we quite literally don't have solid info on his kit, but we do know that his kit is heavily focused around a somewhat forgotten mechanic, which is self-HP drain and HP manipulation. Basically, Mydei's kit heavily revolves around draining his own HP by a significant amount whenever he takes an action, which is honestly very similar to Blade, but unlike Blade, Mydei also drains the HP of his other teammates. Now, whenever he drains all this HP from himself and his teammates, Mydei gives himself a huge damage buff and some other buffs as well, but just to put things into perspective a little bit, both of these curios revolve around the concept of draining a huge amount of HP to gain some massive buffs, and Mydei's playstyle is pretty much going to be somewhat similar to this. Anyways, moving on, you're probably thinking that Mydei's kit is just a fusion of Blade's and Jingliu's kit, right? Well, while I won't deny that statement completely, I'm just going to say that Mydei's self-HP drain will probably be a lot more extreme as compared to Blade's, and unlike Jinglu, Mydei will actually drain quite a lot of HP from his allies as well because honestly, I think we can all agree that Jingliu's HP drain is more of an accessory for her kit rather than being an actual useful mechanic, right? I have to say, his playstyle genuinely seems really fun to me because I feel like being at low HP raises the stakes quite a lot, and that's somewhat exciting. Next up, if we just go back a few months, we actually had some info related to Mydei's early testing data, and according to this data, Mydei was always tested in a team with two healers, namely luocha and lingsha. Now, going by this data, we can easily derive and speculate two things, so let me tell you about those. Firstly, the buffs that Mydei gains after draining his own HP and the HP of his teammates are most likely going to be insanely huge, and I'm saying this because they somehow need to justify dropping a support unit for a healer, and they can easily justify this and balance it out by giving him huge self-buffs in return. Secondly, as I've already stated like 2,000 times, Mydei's HP drain is going to be really extreme, and I'm guessing it will be nearly impossible to sustain without abundance characters, which just means that Aventurin and the other preservation characters will have to sit this one out. Also, I think it's worth mentioning that Mydei's kit might encourage us to play him in a dual DPS teams, rather than playing him in a somewhat hypercarry type setup, which genuinely sounds quite interesting. Now, why am I saying this? Well, going back to the early testing data, Mydei was usually paired with castorice along with the two healers, and this team was basically a dual DPS type setup. Okay, so looking into this more, This data could either mean that Mydei and castorice are somewhat similar to Blade and Jinglu, where they have some nice synergy going on with each other and work well together. If this isn't the case, then maybe either Mydei or castorice are just made to be played in a dual DPS type setup, and also considering that Tribi is going to be a team-wide buffer, this scenario genuinely doesn't seem that unrealistic. Regardless of the scenario, though, I think Mydei's overall kit is quite interesting, and I'm kind of excited to see how some of these speculations ends up aging. Alright, with that, I've covered and compiled all the info that we have on Mydei's kit as of now, and along with this, we also made some speculations related to his playstyle and his teammates. Do remember to comment down how you guys feel about his kit, because honestly, I feel like his kit is really interesting and I want to hear your opinions on it. Also, if you did somehow end up watching until the end, I'm pretty sure you liked the video and you might want to consider subscribing as well. With that being said, I love y'all and I will see you in another one.